So, starting first with the door and window markers. Let's start with the doors. We want to take a look at the layer. We're going to be using the ASIM1 layer. Also, keep in mind that we're going to be using two different scales. Okay, so the idea here is going to be this. We've got, whether we're using M-text or multi-leader labels, for our room labels, we've got our door and windows markers and the interior marker. We're going to place all of these first in one scale, and then I'll show you how to use the Add Automatically scale button here so that we can turn on the scales for 3/16 as well for all of these annotations. You're doing this because you're going to present your progress print on B-size paper, and then later on the final print at 1/4 inch on C-size paper. So as we continue, we're going to start with 1/4 inch is equal to 1 foot. You're going to make sure you turn on the annotation scale filter so that basically everything that we see right now is only for 1/4 inch scale. Okay, so we don't necessarily need to start in any order, but let's just go ahead and start with the door markers. We're going to start with the entry here. So as long as I have my annotation scale ready, all I want to do here is get as close as possible to my door. Now keep in mind we're going to be adding dimensions here, so maybe just off to the center. And if we start to the outside or the inside, just be consistent all the way around. So let's place this one. Using the attribute here, we're going to use D5 as the marker. And so once we have one of these multi-leaders in our model, we can simply just make a copy and then using a double click we can adjust the attribute. And as we continue here, I'll do all the doors first, so we'll go here and do the closet. And that's going to be D6. Come over here to the bathroom. This is going to be D3. So again, you can just use an existing one. And then rename it. Actually, we could use our D3 down here. Let's do that. And then we have our D7 here. And think about using your O-snap tools here so you can keep everything nice and neat and aligned. This will be D7. And then we have D2 and D4. So let's grab a copy of this. And then just with a double click we can adjust the values. Alright, so that right there is all our door markers. We got one more actually. We have the bathroom here, which is D1. So we'll just borrow this. And double click. Now you may be thinking about the placement of these, and one thing that I want to call to your attention is you'll see that as you change the scale, right, the sizing of these annotative objects will also change. What that enables you to do is, for any scale, you can change the positions of your annotations without affecting the positions of the annotations in another scale. And this will become very critical when you start working with tight spaces, and as you change the scale, you might have to move the position of your labels or your text, and you don't want to duplicate this effort, right, across scales. But by using annotative styles, you'll be able to modify each instance of a single label, multi-liter, or dimension without affecting the same annotation for a different scale.